Well, today is the day where we get the player of the month for July, and I'm going to be honest with you, this program, at least sort of on the surface, seems a little underwhelming. We will get into it here in a second, but I do want to say it does feel a little bit underwhelming with the players they chose and sort of players we talked about, numbers-wise, and all that, but we'll kind of see how things sort of turn out as a whole. And before all that, please, if you are new here, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss anything else around here, as today is not necessarily a massive day for the unemployed, but it's definitely a day nonetheless. So let's just break down all this stuff and see how if it's as good or as bad as I think it is. So again here, kind of just noting stuff behind me. Nothing changed, as you can see. Everything that comes on Friday is basically the same. Missions and new players, Spotlight August 1. So we'll kind of see if those things sort of changing. It probably won't, but hey, you never know. Let's just start from the top. Let's make sure there's nothing that they shadow drop. It looks like they did a Joe Torre card. It's probably the new headliner if I had to guess. There are cards in there as well, but we'll take a look at this as well. Second, one of them is definitely George Springer. Here is the Joe Torre card for those of you who are so inclined. Joe Torre, 125, 125. Get contact-wise, 103, 82 for power. This card is just a third baseman only. Decent fielding over there for a 99 Joe Torre, who hit 363 in 1971. He's usually got a pretty good stick, so I assume he'll play pretty well for a lot of people. And I guess while we're here, let's take a look at the cards in the pack for the Spotlight program. So the first one here is George Springer, 125, 110 versus right. 97, 112 versus left. Can play just right field. Decent fielding as well. His reaction's kind of low. Might not be the best fielder out there. Doesn't really have anything to make up for it. But he's got a good stick. So maybe a little bit of DH is in the future for him. Salvi, who I said could be player of the month, does get a Spotlight card, but it's in a pack. 125 max against righties. 90, 101 versus left. His clutch is 120, so it doesn't really affect it too much. Fielding's very okay, but he should do fine back there as a catcher. Or not, maybe not. He doesn't have some of the quirks, but I did mention he would probably get a card. I figured to be in the program or not. I guess it wasn't. Tyler McGill, another card. I think I mentioned him, or at least I might have talked about him. He's in here as well. 4-seam knuckle grip, 2-seam. Probably not going to see a lot in terms of pitching because of it, but 125 hit, K per 9 is 99, 101 walk, clutch is 125. He throws pretty hard. Does have outlier on the fastball and knuckle curve, which is interesting. So we'll see how he plays. These two are 99, 98, 98. Mickey Moniak gets a card. I figured he would. He was really hot to start the year, batted 360 with, as you see there, 125, 122 against righties, 79, 76 against lefties. Can play all three outfield spots. Decent enough out there where he should be fine to be played out there. His clutch is 125, so it'll definitely help him against lefties. Sneaky card there for a 98. Jordan Westberg also gets one as well here. He got, which is interesting because Westberg got one earlier, and one of the guys I talked about, Kyle Stowers, in the video, if you didn't see it, should got one. I digress here. 99, 119, 76, 106, 125 for Westberg, the third shorts, second base, and third baseman. 120, so it'll help him a little bit. Good enough feeling if you get him to play third and all that fun stuff. So not too shabby there. Here's the tops and out cards that everyone's going to pull. 97, Alex Freeland. 114, 87, 101, 83. Good fielding. Seats, very okay. I guess he could get some play if you really need a third baseman. I think it's a deep enough position. So we'll kind of see how all that sort of plays out. But we will definitely see how all that plays. So who knows how all that goes. The next one up is Randy. He, again, I'm kind of surprised he also didn't get a better card. 10th in MLB history with 5 straight 2020 seasons. 197, 95, 115, 112. Clutch is 125, 105. Speed and all that is still pretty good. I don't necessarily know if he'll be. I don't care much for Randy cards. But again, I think he actually outplayed this. I mean, if that's the card they want to do, hey, by all means, go hog wild here. But I think he should have gotten a player of the month card because he was pretty good. He hit a lot of home. He hit like 10 home runs in the month. Couple more here. Troy Melton. First MLB win comes in impressive first home start. 4-seam splitter, sinker, cutter, splitter. A lot of hard stuff. Pretty average stats here across the board, except for clutch, which is 101. No quirks as well, but pretty nifty there. And last but not least, Nick Lodolo, who threw a complete game shutout, 4-seam serve, circle change, and a sinker. Again, kind of middling numbers here as things sort of go along, but hey, it is what it is, I suppose. Those are probably most of the cards most people are going to pick, or pull rather, in the program. Now, apologies, still getting over stuff. Cold. Now let's take a look at the what I think is kind of the underwhelming spotlight program. However, maybe people feel different. I'll give my rationale here in a second. The first card here is Jojo Romero. I didn't even know he was doing this or even around. He struck out 15 guys in 9 2/3 innings. Slider, sinker, circle change, and a 4-seamer. He'll probably be a lot of people's spend as a reliever. Numbers are pretty good. Clutch is 125, hit per 9 and K per 9, walk per 9, all over 100. He's not going to be throwing the ball incredibly hard. He has day gamer. Take it for what it is. Trevor Rogers, who I did say could be involved in here, is here. 4-seam, circle change, sinker, slider, sweeper. Stamina and K, hit per 9 are over 100. Pitching clutch is 125. Again, kind of the numbers are seem very pedestrian, but we talk about this a lot of times. Sometimes they're just there to help theme teams. He might see a little bit of play, but I think a 103 ERA and a very good whip deserve a little bit better. But again, hey, what do we know? And he just has pick-off artists, but hey, it's... a lot of it is what it is. And then you get the spotlight drop. One. Interesting. Willy Adams got a card already. Interesting. Continuing down the line here. Drop 2. Another chance to get the slightly better Nick Kurtz and good old Lucas Giolito and some other stuff. Next up is Andrew Vaughn, who I said could also get a card. 91, 115, 145, 76. Clutch 125. Batted 365 with 21 RBIs. Might sneak into some people's lineups, but again, as I said, pedestrian numbers rather otherwise. So we'll kind of see how things play themselves out here. We get a June spotlight. I'm not really sure why, but they're throwing this in here. These cards are kind of cheap for the record. If you didn't get Bobby Grich, they're very affordable. Jose Altuve, who wasn't really on my radar, gets one. 118, 88, 125, 105. He had 9 multi-hit games, so I guess he kind of snuck in there with pretty good numbers. People love his swing. Definitely an upgrade. He could be some people starting second baseman from here on out. Decent enough card here, but again, a lot of it just feels like there's some very, 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 very pedestrian numbers. So, just take it for what's worth. Another spotlight drop pack number 3 here, so you can get some of those. A pack. And Luis Castillo, who originally card said he hit some homers, definitely didn't do that. 4 pitch mix, 4-seam sinker, slider, and a circle change. Stamina, hit per 9, walk per 9, clutch or pitching clutch all over 100. I'm not sure how much play he's going to see without a 5th pitch, but could sneak in there. We'll kind of see. He doesn't have any quirks. So, and then spotlight drop 4. So this is the last one, where it's a lot of packs there, and then it's just any of the higher priced ones. And then Jarren Durant's the back end of this. 105, 103, 107, 80. Good speed, decent fielding. He's a pretty decent free-to-play card. Again, I just sort of talked about how underwhelming all of this kind of feels, because none of the... I mean... I don't know. It sometimes feels like these programs are a little bit of hit and miss, and this one just feels like a miss. I'm not saying Jarren Durant's not a good card. I really hope the Willy Adams we show off blows my socks off, because he got a card already, so it just feels like a little bit overkill compared to like some of the other guys we talked about in the video. And I know there are a lot of like really big high name guys, but it just feels like Jarren Durant realistically could have had it. There's a lot to unpack here. Let's take a look at the Lightning collection here and take a look and see what we got here. When you collect 3, you get Nick Kurtz. For 4, you get Willy Adams, who does look pretty good for a shortstop. 118, 100, 1 max against lefties. It kind of feels like his sinus card from a few years ago for a shortstop. Decent fielding. He'll probably be... He's going to be starting shortstop. But again, feels weird that he already got a card when other guys could have. I don't know. It feels weird, but the card's beefy enough to where I think it'll suffice a lot of players and a lot of people in general. Now let's talk about the big collection, the retro What do you get here? Jackson Cheerio, another guy we talked about. So for the 3, you get another free any packs. You'll get some cards back. Again, want to reiterate that the cards you get for free in the program don't go to this. This is the paid stuff. Sort of looking at it, it looks like we're back at an April situation, at least as of now, where these cards are going to be expensive. And again, I don't know if these will drive the price down. It's not going to be like what it was last month, which might have been a flash in the pan. So don't be shocked if these guys don't really drop, which could be an issue. Jackson Cheerio, if you collect four of these, pretty, 125, 85, 120, 120, 125, 103, 120, 85. Good speed, good feeling. He had a 20-game hit streak. He hits a 99 here if you collect 5. For 8, here's Ken Griffey Jr. Not too shabby here. 120 versus right. 115, 113 versus left. Good speed, good fielding. Clutches 120. I mean, what do you expect from a Griffey card? I think that's partially why he's so expensive, because last month was Bobby Grich. Not a lot of people necessarily are like going ham for Bobby Grich. People will go ham for Ken Griffey Jr. So I'm going to say this is kind of an unfortunate situation for people who might not have the stubs. So cross your fingers that you can get at least 1 or 2 of these. It looks like it's going to be kind of expensive. So if you get hit on your rewinds, fantastic, because I would say then you get this any, so you get 4. So, but again, I don't know if these things will drop. They probably won't, because like I said, I think Ken Griffey Jr. is a pretty dang good card. So gonna be kind of rough on that front. Let's take a look at, I didn't do this. Let me look at the missions and let's see if how the missions and stuff here. So again, do your moments. You'll get 4 points for 3, 6, 7. So you get 21 points. So that'll get you to Jordan Westburg, so you can start throwing these guys in your rotations. Drop 4 missions, so get some Ks and innings pitched with him. Ks and hits with Altuve. You can use Langoliers, Barger, and then repeatable stat missions and stuff as well, as you kind of work your way along here. And the collection stuff, if you do choose to do it, these have gotten a little bit shorter as you've gone along. Like the Langoliers one I did you can do these in a day, honestly, is you can kind of see like the general missions just seem to fill it up. But again, sort of take it for what you can do. But again, shouldn't take too terribly long. But that's everything. And as you can see those are the cards I sort of talked about. Minus Cody Bellinger. But yeah, those are the cards I was talking about. So it looks like we hit a little bit okay on some of them. Again, I think there was some misses here, but hey, it is what it is. So with all that being said, I think the program overall isn't too bad. It did feel like a dud. It still kind of feels like a dud. I think some of the names, a repeat of Willy Adams wasn't necessarily a smart choice that they could have done. But hey, I understand it. And he'll be starting shortstop probably for a lot of people. Unless you got J-Roll, I'm assuming. Who knows? Maybe not. But let me know what you thought of the content. Did you think it was an absolute home run? Did you think it was very okay? Do you think it was underwhelming? Let me know down below. Subscribe so you don't miss anything else. And I'll see you guys back here in the next one. Bye, guys.